Day 5 of Bible.
Ah! Sorry, I did not continue. I can't believe you've done this, Skytis.
I did. Discord did.
I literally can't believe
how
you've
do I
done
fix
this.
this? Can I rearrange?
You better fucking fix this.
I brought a guest. Would the guest like to introduce himself?
Oh, hi, I'm Felix. I'm a avid payer of church taxes, and I'm glad to be here today. That's all.
Teras, how do I rearrange it in the Discord?
You don't just do it in the fucking OBS, you fucking immigrant.
Dude, that is so much work. You have no idea.
It's not. You click and you drag.
And then I have to to change it back again for the next one.
Well, then just shut up. Just fucking do it. This is all your idea.
Okay, well then.
Literally.
And you go ahead and tell funny stories while we wait for me to fix.
Once upon a time, there was a boy, and he died. The end.
What's
It's
his name?
really funny.
What's his name? Samuel.
That was Abel, and he's no longer Abel. Oh.
Based on a true story. Are you happy now? Teras,
Based on real events.
your sign is not quite.
It's good enough.
Okay, I'm only gonna ask you once, Felix. Are you ready?
No. Does my
Good.
answer matter here, or?
No.
That's the correct response.
But there's only one valid answer because everything else would just mean you're lying. So I appreciate your honesty.
I'm glad to be here. Maybe.
No, you're not.
You're in
Yeah.
for a treat.
I have no idea how this happened.
Just keep on drinking and you'll never find out. Let's go. 1 Kings 13. And behold.
No, that didn't fucking take long.
By the word of the Lord, a man of Skytis went from Judah to Bethel when Jeroboam was standing over the altar and burning incense.
Skytis,
Yes?
Skytis. He didn't drink. He didn't drink. I'm watching the guest. He's not drinking.
I'm unsure if the rule applies.
Check. Well,
Behold.
first of all that, but there's a rule. Check. The second word
Oh,
of 1 Kings 13 is, in fact, behold. So you have to drink.
okay.
And by the word of the Lord, he cried out against the altar. And he said, O altar, thus says the Lord. Behold.
Oh no.
Say another behold, really?
Yes. A son will be born to the house of David, Josiah by name. And upon you he will immolate the priests of the high places who now burn incense upon you. And upon you he will burn up the bones of men.
Or woman.
No, just men. Women don't have bones. They don't have penis, so why would they have bones?
Women aren't
Making a
real.
fair point.
Women aren't real. They're just a conspiracy.
And he gave a sign on the same day, saying, This will be the sign that the Lord has spoken. Behold. Where the fuck was I? The altar shall be torn apart, and the ashes that are upon it shall be poured out. And when the king had heard the word of the man of Skytis, which he had cried out against the altar at Bethel, he extended his hand from the altar, saying, Apprehend him! But his hand which he had extended against him withered. And he withered away.
And he withered away, wherever.
And he was unable to draw it back to himself.
Abel. Father Abel.
Also, the altar was torn apart, and the ashes were poured out from the altar in accord with the sign that the man of Skytis had predicted by the word of the Lord. And the king said to the man of Skytis, "Entreat the face of the Lord your Skytis, and pray to me, so that my hand may be restored to me." And the man of Skytis prayed before the face of the Lord, and the hand of the king was restored to him, and it became as it had been before. I told you can't be ready for this. Then the king said to the man of Skytis, "Come, home with me, so that you may dine, and I will give you gifts." This is like the Bible version of somebody being like, "Hey, I have ice cream in this truck, follow me."
You like some candy, little boy?
And the man of Skytis responded to the king, "Even if you will give me 1/2 part of your house, I will not go with you, nor eat bread, nor drink water in this place. For so it was commanded to me by the word of the Lord, ordering, you shall not eat bread, and you shall not drink water, nor shall you return by the way that you came."
Imagine if God just came to you and just told you you can't eat bread anymore.
Imagine if
Would
God
be
just
so
came.
pissed.
I mean, what?
That is kind of gay,
Mhm.
to be fair.
The Bible's anything but gay. How dare you?
Why are you gay?
And then he departed by another way. And he did not return along the way that he had traveled to Bethel. Now a certain elderly prophet was living in Bethel. His sons went to him, and they described to him all the works which the man of Skytis had accomplished on that day in Bethel. And they described to their daddy the words that he had spoken to the king. And their daddy said to them, "By which way did he depart?" His sons showed him the way by which the man of Skytis, who had come from Judah, had departed. And he said to his sons, "Saddle the donkey for me." And when they had settled it, he climbed on, and he went away after the man of Skytis. And he found him sitting under a terebinth tree. And he said to him,
Same.
"Are you the man of Skytis who came from Judah?" And he responded, "I am." And he said to him, "Come, home with me, so that you may eat bread." But he said, "I am not able to turn back, nor to go with you. Neither will I eat bread or drink water in this place. For the Lord has spoken to me by the word of the Lord, saying..." That counts as the Lord saying to someone. It's just, once again, very convoluted. So,
Yeah, sure. Drink type.
Cheers.
cheers,
The
you are
Lord has
bad for sure.
spoken.
Hold on. Okay. "You shall not eat bread, and you shall not drink water in that place, nor shall you return by the way that you arrived." And he said to him, "I too am a prophet like you, and an angel spoke to me by the word of the Lord, saying, Lead him back with you to your house, so that he may eat bread and drink water." And so he deceived him, and he led him back with him. Then he ate bread and drank water in his house. And while they were sitting at the table, the word of the Lord came to the prophet who had led him back. And he cried out to the man of Skytis, who had arrived from Judah, saying, "Thus says the Lord, because you were not obedient to the mouth of the Lord, and you did not keep the commandment that the Lord your Skytis instructed to you, and you turned back and ate bread and drank water in the place where he commanded you that you should not eat bread nor drink water, your dead body shall not be carried back to the sepulchre of your daddies."
Literal fucking heresy, eating bread.
That's your job, isn't it?
Yes.
So isn't it more like a heresy?
Fuck off.
No, I'm staying. Fuck you.
Oh, son of a bitch. Friendzone strikes again.
And when he had eaten and had drunk, he saddled his donkey for the prophet whom he had led back. And when he had departed, a lion found him along the way, and it killed him. And his dead body was left upon the road. Bible strikes again.
That was fast.
There's been much better. There's a drinking rule for a character being introduced and dying within 10 lines of being introduced. Because that happened multiple times before. Bible never change. Now the donkey was standing beside him, and the lion was standing beside the dead body. And behold,
Oh no.
men who were passing by saw the dead body lying on the road, with the lion standing beside the body. Ah, yes, the lion just killed the human and ignored the donkey. And the donkey just chilled there. I guess animals were just different back then.
every line before like 1500 AC were vegans, didn't you know?
The fuck, AC?
Wasn't it?
ACDC.
Oh, it was. It was AD, right? Okay,
Anno Domini
close enough.
and BC, before Christ, and Anno Domini I think means after the Lord, Domini, Lord. So
Year of the Lord.
basically
Don't
before
know.
and after Christ, I think.
I
Definitely
like this
BC
equals
and
better.
I think AD is the others. But hey, fuck Latin.
True.
And they went and made it widely known in the city and made it widely known in the city where that elderly prophet was living. Nice meme, Teras. Where'd you find that?
Nice what, where?
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about.
No idea.
But that's our guest.
What about our guest?
We have a guest?
We do?
The crunchy
Where?
sounds or the meme.
Your mum's a meme.
Crunchy Snack is also a meme, actually. Heart of the Hill of Foreskin. Which is actually canon in the
Someone's
Bible.
calling me, hold on. I think my pizza delivery is retarded.
I mean, so am I. Did you know, Felix, that the Hill of Foreskins is actually a place in the Bible?
So wait. I need to digest this information for a second.
It's fine.
So is it a name that they gave to it because it has like metaphorical information, or did they literally just build a hill?
I mean, it's not quite literal, but it's not very metaphorical. If I remember correctly, it's just the hill where they circumcised a bunch of people.
I would ask why, but I don't think there's a satisfying
Well,
answer.
basically, if you're not circumcised, you're just not a person of Skytis. So you're just. Skytis said to Abraham at some point that every male past the age of 8 days, I think, needs to be circumcised. And then Abraham went ahead and did that and just snipped everyone. And then later on, when they were in the desert and just kind of wandering around and getting lost and being chased and various other things, they apparently kind of forgot about that, and then they just had to redo that, and that's what happened at the Hill of Foreskins, I believe.
That makes me wonder, is God circumcised? Because like he made us in his image, so we shouldn't need to be circumcised if he was.
I just
And if
checked.
he isn't, why does he want to cut off our?
Why don't you ask him?
I don't think you would answer.
And when that prophet who had led him back from the way had heard it, he said, It is the man of Skytis who was obedient to the mouth of the Lord, and the Lord had delivered him to the lion. And it has torn him apart and killed him in accord with the word of the Lord which he spoke to him. And he said to his sons, Saddle a donkey for me. And when they had settled it, and he had departed, he found the dead body lying on the road with the donkey and the lion standing beside the dead body. The lion did not eat from the dead body, nor did it harm the donkey. Then the prophet took the dead body of the man of Skytis and he placed it upon the donkey. Returning, he brought it into the city of the elderly prophet so that he might mourn for it. And he placed his dead body in his own sepulchre, and they mourned for him, saying, Alas! Alas! My brother! And when they had mourned over him, he said to his sons, When I will have died, bury me in the sepulchre in which the man of Skytis was buried. Place my bones beside his bones. For certainly the word will arrive. What? For certainly the word will arrive, which he predicted by the word of the Lord against the altar which is in Bethel, and against all the shrines of the high places which are in the cities of Samaria. The English is very difficult, apparently.
Will arrived.
Word will arrive. Yeah, that's part of why we're doing this, so we can fix the Bible. After these words, Jeroboam did not turn back from his very evil way. Instead, to the contrary, he made priests for the high places out of the least of the people. Whosoever was willing, he filled his hand, and he became a priest of the high places. And for this reason, the house of Jeroboam sinned and was uprooted and was wiped from the face of the earth. If you would like, you can also read a chapter.
So, just to contextualize, I didn't really pay attention for the first few lines. A guy was told he can't eat bread, then somebody, by gods, and somebody tricked him and told him he's an angel, and told him he can eat bread, so he ate bread, and then God killed him.
Yes.
Or did I miss something? God is
You missed one thing. It wasn't an angel, it was an angle.
Alright, sorry. So, a man does literally nothing wrong, gets eaten by a lion.
Well, he did something wrong. He ate bread and drank water. He was explicitly told not to. I mean, just check your facts before you just believe random people. Duh.
That's true. So which page is it?
200. It is
200.
1 Kings 14.
Okay, give me a second. I'm opening the Bible.
Oh, don't do that.
Wait a second. There's the pages. It might take a while because Google Documents is a piece of shit, apparently.
200 or 50 of the document, but 200 in terms of Bible pages.
Yeah.
1 Kings 14.
There
So
it
how's
is.
the pizza, Teras? Yeah, you're fucking stupid. You're still muted, fucking idiot.
I knew that. The word about it.
Surely.
Okay, I got it. So 1 Kings 14:1, right?
You don't have to read the 14 one, but feel free to.
Okay. In that time, Abijah, the son of Jeroboam, became ill. Jesus Christ! And Jeroboam said to his wife, "Rise up and change clothing, so that you will not be recognized to be the wife of Jeroboam, and go to Shiloh where the prophet Ahijah is, and say to me that I should reign over this people. Also, take in your hand 10 loaves of dried bread and a container of barley, and go to him, for he will reveal to you what will happen to this boy." The wife of Jeroboam did just as he had said, and rising up, she went away to Shiloh, and she arrived at the house of AJ, but he was unable to see because his eyes had dimmed due to old age. Then the Lord said to AJ, "Behold, the wife of Jeroboam..."
Hold! The Lord said to Ahijah.
Oh, the Lord talks. Cheers.
No, talk to someone specifically. He needs to be addressing a specific person. But he did. And then also, behold.
Behold.
Wrong.
Go on.
Behold, the wife of Jeroboam enters, so that she may consult you over her son who is ill. You shall say one thing and another to her. What kind of sense? Sorry. Therefore, as she was entering, not presenting herself to be who she was, Ajad heard the sound of her feet entering through the door, and he said, "Enter, O wife of Jeroboam. Why do you pretend to be somebody you are not? But I've been sent to you with harsh news." So this guy he's an expert, like OnlyFans subscriber. He can identify people by the sound of their feet. That's impressive. "But I have been sent to you with harsh news. Go and tell Jeroboam, thus said the Lord, the Skytis of Glasgow. Although I exalted you from the midst of the people and granted you to be the leader over my people, Glasgow, and I tore the kingdoms away from the house of David, and I gave it to you, yet you have not been like David, my servant, who kept my commandments, and who followed me with his whole heart, doing what was pleasing in my sight. Instead, you have worked evil beyond all those who were before you, and you have made for yourself strange Skytis and molten images."
It's so cruel. It's Skytis.
Skytis, okay.
Skytis.
Skytay.
Skytis.
And molten images. so that you provoke me to anger, and you have cast me behind your back. For this reason, behold, I will lead eagles over the house of Jeroboam, and I will strike down from Jeroboam that which urinates against the wall. I should have really read this before. And that which is lame, and that which is last in Glasgow. And I will cleanse that which remains in the house of Jeroboam, just as dung is usually cleaned away, until there is purity. Those who will have died of Jeroboam in the city, the dogs will devour them. And those who will have died in the fields, nice. The birds of heavens will devour them, for the Lord has spoken. Therefore, you must rise up and go to your house, and in the city, at the very entrance of your feet, the boy will die. And all of Glasgow will mourn him, and will bury him. For he alone of Jeroboam shall be brought into a sepulchre. For concerning him, there has been found a good word from the Lord, the Skytis of Glasgow, in the house of Jeroboam. But the Lord has appointed for himself a king over Glasgow, who will strike down the house of Jeroboam in his day and in this time. And the Lord Skytis shall strike Glasgow. I literally can't follow. There's too many changed words, but I guess that's fine.
Perfect.
Just as I read, it's usually shaken in the water.
I can assure you, if nothing was changed, you would still not understand anything.
I mean,
Excellent.
I'm going to keep in mind that Skytis apparently really hates Glasgow. But I think that's it. Just as a reed is usually shaken in the water, and he will uproot Glasgow from his good land, which he gave to their daddies, and he will winnow them beyond the river. For they have made for themselves sacred groves, so that they have provoked the Lord. And the Lord will hand over Glasgow because of the sins of Jeroboam, who has sinned and caused Glasgow to sin. I think that's lore accurate. And so the wife of Jeroboam rose up, and she went away. And she arrived at Teras, and she saw, and as she was entering the threshold of the house, the boy died. They buried him, and all the Glasgow mourned him, and according to the word of the Lord, which he spoke by the hands of his servant AJ the prophet. Now the rest of the words of Jeroboam, the manner in which he fought, and the manner in which he reigned, behold. Oh, I'm out of alcohol. I'm going to keep that in mind. These were written in the book of the words of the days of the. In the book of the words of the days of the kings of Glasgow.
Welcome to
And
Bible.
the days. That's a lot of. I mean, that's like
Yep.
second or third grade German exams in my school. It's crazy. I mean, it's 2,000 years old, so I guess it makes sense. In the days
More.
during which Jeroboam reigned were 22 years. 22 years, and he slept with his daddies.
No.
And-
Daddy,
and-
question mark.
There needs to be more Urus in there. And Nadab, his son, reigned in his place. Now Rehoboam, the son of Solomon, reigned in Judah. Rehoboam was 41 years old when he had begun to reign, and he reigned for 17 years in Jerusalem, the city that the Lord chose out of the tribes of Glasgow, so that he might place his name there. And the name of his mother was Naamah, an Ammonite. Isn't that like a kind of rock? And Judah did evil in the sight of the Lord, and
Why
they
not?
provoked him beyond all that their daddy had done. But by their sins they have committed. For they too built for themselves altars and statues and sacred groves upon every high hill and under every leafy tree. Moreover, the effeminate were in the land, and they committed all the abominations of the people that the Lord has destroyed before the face of the sons of Glasgow. So God hates femboys. Okay.
No. Wait. They were in the land and they committed all the abominations of the people. Wait, hold on. And so the femboys committed the abominations. Yeah, so basically the femboys sinned. They did
Okay,
all the
I
things
just-
that the tribes that had been destroyed also did.
I just checked. Effeminate is an actual word in the Bible, right? You didn't exchange that one?
Yep, that is actually. It was
Okay.
first mentioned like 1 or 2 reading sessions ago, but yes. What was the context again? If it was pretty comedic, I believe. Hello, effeminate.
So the obvious next step is to switch effeminate for femboys.
There we go. So the first mention was, and when David had heard of it, now that the matter was done, he said, I and my kingdom are clean before the Lord, even forever, of the blood of Abner, the son of Ner. And now he's basically cursing his enemies, saying, and may it fall upon the head of Joab, and upon the entire house of his daddy, and may there not fail to be in the house of Joab one who suffers from a flow of seed, or one who is leprous, or one who is effeminate, or one who falls by the sword, or one who is in need of bread.
So
Or-
wait,
That's-
so
So
That
put,
is
to
such
put
a
it into
mishmash of people.
imagine being like the perfect person, but wanting to eat bread, so you're just fucked.
no, it basically just means he's cursing his enemies. So every single one of the house of Joab either comes, or is leprous, or is a femboy, or dies to the sword, or is hungry.
I'll take femboy. That seems like the least
bread.
problematic answer.
I'll take thank you very. I mean, what? Yeah, just Bible things.
It's a great book. Then in the 5th year of the reign of Rehoboam, Shishak, the king of Egypt, ascended against Jerusalem, and he took away the treasures of the house of the Lord and the royal treasures, and he plundered everything, including the shields of gold that Solomon had made. I mean, that's bad, but at least he didn't eat bread, I guess. In place of these, King Rehoboam made shields of brass, and he delivered them into the hands of the commanders of the shield bearers, and of those who were keeping the night watch before the gate of the king's house. And when the king entered into the house of the Lord, these were carried by those who held the office to go before him, and afterwards they carried them back to the armory of the shield bearers. Now the rest of the words of Rehoboam and all that he did, behold, these were written in the book of the words of the days of the kings of Judah. What? Books of the words of the days. That's 4 of the, okay. And there was war between Rehoboam and Jeroboam
Skytis isn't
during all of the days. And Rehoboam slept with his daddies, and he was buried with them in the city of David. And his mother's name was Naamah, an Ammonite, and his son Abijam reigned in peace.
In his place.
So
Close enough. Don't ask.
I'm not good at following plots. Like if I read, I usually have this situation where I'm like, oh shit, I stopped paying attention 2 pages ago, but how can anybody read? Like people are telling about how they read the Bible to understand it.
Yes.
Why
How
are
do
you
you do
asking
that?
us?
We've read it and we don't understand it.
Just okay. There is. Hold on. I will. Teras, can you send him Schmoop? Our new
That
favorite
sounds
site, Teras. Remember
Kinky.
that I sent you 1 or 2 days ago?
Yeah.
There is a very
On the
very
ship.
secret thing we shall not disclose on the stream, but there is something very amazing that
Trying to find it now.
you shall be you shall become a part of. You shall be in the know. Also, you have 2 drinks to catch up on.
I
Good.
already got one, behold, and the second one I don't remember.
Okay, well, there was one behold at the very end here, and then there was one earlier where you said, "Oh, I'm out of alcohol. I'm gonna have to remember." There it is. To behold.
I can never see this
Well, hold on,
emoji.
I need to get the actual proper Bible bit.
Every time I see the
Yeah.
emoji with the glasses and the
Hold on.
rabbit teeth, I have to laugh. It's so stupid nowadays.
Hold on,
What?
here's the correct one.
Huh?
Nice.
Don't know why you would bring up that emoji right now, but sure.
Because
I'll
it's
keep that
on
one.
the Schmoop homepage.
You know what? I'm just gonna continue, and you just enjoy that. Unless you want to continue.
Nah, go ahead.
Funny that.
How? Oh, okay.
Go ahead. What is it? What's on your mind?
Why is there so much study guide for the Bible?
Yes.
It's longer than the Bible.
Because you have to really understand every single meaning of every single word.
You understand the irony.
I hope they actually explain it as femboys.
1 Kings 15. Then in the 18th year of the reign of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, Abijam reigned over Judah. He reigned for 3 years in Jerusalem. The name of his mother was Maacah, the daughter of Abishalom. And he walked in all the sins of his daddy, which he had done before him. Neither was his heart perfect with the Lord his Skytis, as was the heart of David his daddy. But for the sake of David, the Lord his Skytis gave to him a lamp in Jerusalem, so that he might raise up a son after him, and so that he might establish Jerusalem. For David had done what was right in the eyes of the Lord, and he had not declined from all of the things that he had instructed to him during all the days of his life, except the matter of Uriah the Hittite. Now there was war between Rehoboam and Jeroboam during the entire time of his life. And the rest of the words of Abijam and all that he did, were these not written in the book of the words of the days of the kings of Judah? What the... And hold on. And the rest of the words of Abijam and all that he did, were these not written in the books of the words of the... Like, is this just saying... And if you want to read the rest, just look at the other book. Fuck off. I don't care. What? And Abijam slept with his daddies, and they buried him in the city of David. And Asa, his son, reigned in his place. Then, in the 20th year of Jeroboam, the king of Glasgow, Asa, reigned as a king of Judah, and he reigned for 41 years in Jerusalem. The name of his mother was Maacah, the daughter of Abishalom. And Asa did what was right before the sight of the Lord, just as his daddy David did. And he took away the effeminate from the land. No. And he purged all the filth of the idols which his daddies had made. Rip femboys?
Oh no, not again. Rip Fanti.
Moreover, he also removed his mother, Maacah, from being the leader in the sacrifices of Priapus. What the fuck is Priapus? That related to the Priapism in any way?
You tell me.
You don't know what that is, huh? Maybe you should look it up.
I think it's a brand of car.
You know what? I'm just gonna... I think this is how you spell it.
No, you're thinking of a Prius.
Just look it up. I hope I spelled it correctly. If I did, you'll know. Moreover, he also removed... no, wait. I already... Wait.
Try again.
Removed his mother, Maacah, from being the leader of the sacrifices in Priapus, and in his sacred grove, which she had consecrated. And he destroyed his grotto. And he shattered the very indecent idol, and he burned it at the torrent Kidron. My name is Kidron. Thanks, cat peasant. But the high places he did not take away. Yet truly, the heart of Asa was perfect with the Lord during all his days. And he brought the things that his daddy had sanctified and vowed back to the house of the Lord. Silver and the gold and the vessels. Now there was war between Asa and Baasha, the king of Glasgow, during all their days. And Baasha, the king of Glasgow, ascended against Judah, and he built at Ramah, so that no one would be able to exit or enter from the side of Asa, the king of Judah. And so Asa took all the silver and the gold which had remained in the treasuries of the house of the Lord and in the treasuries of the house of the king, and he gave it into the hands of his servants. And he sent them to Ben-Hadad, the son of Tebrimmon, the son of Hezion, the king of Syria, who was living in Damascus, saying, "There is a pact between you and me, and between my daddy and your daddy. For this reason I have sent to you gifts of silver and gold. And I ask you to go and break your pact with Baasha, the king of Glasgow, so that he may withdraw from me." Ben-Hadad, acquiescing to King Asa, sent the leaders of his army against the cities of Glasgow. And they struck Ijon, and Dan, and Abel.
Johnny!
And Abel. The house
he's not very able.
The house of Maacah and all of Chinneroth, that is, all of the land of Naphtali. And when Baasha had heard this, he ceased from fortifying Ramah, and he returned to Tirzah. Then King Asa sent an announcement to all of Judah, saying, "Let no one be excused." And they took away the stones from Ramah, and its timber with which Baasha had fortified it. And from these things King Asa built up Geba of Benjamin and Mizpah. Now, all the rest of the words of Asa, and his entire strength and all that he did, and the cities that he built, were these not written in the book of the words of the days of the king of Judah? Well, what is it with this? Just if you want to know more, just look at this book. What the fuck? Yet truly, in the time of his old age, he was afflicted in his feet. And he slept with his daddies, and he was buried with them in the city of David, his daddy. And Jehoshaphat, his son, reigned in his place. Yet truly, Nadab, the son of Jeroboam, reigned over Glasgow in the 2nd year of Asa, the king of Judah. And he reigned over Glasgow for 2 years, and he did what is evil in the sight of the Lord. And he walked in the ways of his daddy, and in his sins by which he caused Glasgow to sin. Then Baasha, the son of Ahijah, from the house of Issachar, set an ambush against him, and he struck him down at Gibbethon, which is the city of the Philistines. For indeed, Nadab and all of Glasgow were laying siege to Gibbethon. And so Baasha killed him in the 3rd year of Asa, the king of Judah, and he reigned in his place. And when he had reigned, he struck down the entire house of Jeroboam, and he did not leave behind even one soul from his offspring until he had wiped them away. In accord with the word of the Lord, which he had spoken by the hand of Ahijah the Shilonite, because of the sin of Jeroboam, which he had committed, and by which he had caused Glasgow to sin, and because of the offense by which he had provoked the Lord, the Skytis of Glasgow. Talk about fucking padding extra words in there, holy shit. The rest of the words of Nadab and all that he did, were these not written in the books of the word of the days of the kings of Glasgow? And there was war between Asa and Baasha, the king of Glasgow, during all their days. In the 3rd year of Asa, the king of Judah, Baasha, the son of Ahijah, reigned over all of Glasgow at Teras for 24 years, and he did evil in the sight of the Lord, and he walked in the ways of Jeroboam, and in his sins by which he caused Glasgow to sin. I feel like I just read the same thing 3 times in a row, thanks.
Look at the book of Judah or whatever it was.
No, fuck you.
You'll probably find out why.
I don't think we're there yet. Judah,
Buy
where's
the DLC.
Judah? Where's the book of Judah? No, wait. There's no book of Judah. I've been scammed.
Gay.
Hold on, what?
Well, I think there is 2 or 3 books that have been taken out of the Bible.
Well, he's not written in the words. In the book of the words of the days of the. Fuck this! I just. I can't be bothered.
Imagine how shit the story must be if they take it out of the Bible but keep this stuff in.
Oh yeah. There's like 3 books or something that the church just denies irrelevance to the Bible. They've just removed it.
Wait,
It's just not a part of the Bible anymore.
Retconned.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time I liked the part where God was just wrong for 2,000 years about hating gays, and now it's just fine.
I mean, hating gays is one thing, but hating femboy.
You know, I almost have more respect for the Christians that still believe in the Old Testaments, like God wrote it and it has to be true. It's kind of more.
Once you've read enough of the Bible, you just. Anyone that actually believes in this, you just consider them.
You just laugh at them.
I mean, I can understand it. If I could believe in the Bible and in God and shit, I definitely would. But I just don't see how that's possible.
But you can't.
There's one.
Imagine how nice it would be to go to sleep and be like, I know I'm dead sometime and it's just all over, but it doesn't matter because I just go to Rainbow Land. That would be amazing to be able to believe in that. But
May I introduce you to drugs?
Well, I mean, honestly, the main reason I've never taken anything like LSD or shrooms is because I have no way how to get to it, and I'm not going to put effort into taking drugs. That feels wrong.
Yeah, but if you want to go to Rainbow Land, there's an easier way than dying. That's what I'm saying.
True. But even if I take drugs, I'm still going to die, and it's just going to be over.
But at least you can have visited Rainbow Land early.
That's true. And I'm just going to keep believing I'm immortal.
Most people around here are religious. My condolences. I would not be able to make friends with anyone. I would just laugh at them.
That's fine. I am immortal. Don't worry about it.
You know what else is immortal?
Your dick.
No,
Fortnite.
Diablo.
Well, I hope you fucking.
Where's my money? Let me just play Diablo Immortal. That's how it works, right?
Games.
Oh, sorry.
I have an entire video. Have you seen my thumbnail? AKA the thumbnail that Teras made for my video?
YouTube or?
Yes.
Let me see.
I actually played Diablo Immortal. I kind of reviewed it, I guess.
It's only good if you have a lot of money and you have no idea what to do with it. And you
Still,
hate and you hate charity.
imagine giving money to poor people when you could give it to people that sexually abuse their interns in Diablo.
Give me the money.
I like how at like sexually abused Teras like ooh.
Give me all of your money.
I remember the story about the one guy that paid like $100,000 for Diablo Immortal. And he was ranked so highly that he literally couldn't play the game anymore.
Yeah,
Like there was nobody to match up against
funny
him.
story. Yeah,
He literally got beached.
the game is not good though. Would not recommend. One King's
Games.
Go ahead.
So is it not good in the sense of it's pay to win and it's like
pay to win, and also it's just everything is time gated, so you get intense FOMO. Everything is just, if you want to make progress, you have to do all your weekly shit. It's just the usual MMO shit, but it's also insanely pay to win.
So I assume it's just kind of a good game, but everything that's
No.
logistics.
It could have been.
It's not even a good game.
No, honestly,
Okay.
for a mobile game, it could have been pretty good if they hadn't completely fucked it over with the monetization. Like, not amazing, but it could have been a decent mobile game. But it's a mobile game, so obviously it's outrageously pay to win. But if you want to know more, there's a video for you to watch.
Depends. Do you read the B-movie script while the video is playing?
No, but you
No.
could listen to that.
Damn. Okay.
One Kings 16.
Bible Immortal. Pray to it. Thanks, Cap. Very cool.
Then the word of the Lord came to Jehu, the son of Hanani, against Baasha, saying, the word of the Lord came to someone, saying, which means the Lord is speaking to someone.
I suppose he is.
Drink.
Sorry, I just spat out my drink. I'll let that one slide.
Even though I exalted you from the dust, and I set you as ruler over my people Glasgow, still you have walked in the way of Jeroboam, and you have caused my people Glasgow to sin, so that you have provoked me by their sins. Behold! I will cut down the posterity of Baasha and the posterity of his house, and I will make your house like the house of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat. Whoever will have died of Baasha in the city, the dogs will consume him. And whoever will have died of him in the countryside, the birds of the air will consume him. Now the rest of the words of Baasha and whatever he did in his battles, were these not written in the book of the words of the days of the kings of Glasgow?
They're just making shit up.
They just really want to make sure you read that book. Like you read that book, yeah? You did your homework, right? Right?
What does it even
Right?
mean?
Did you do your homework? Did you read that book? I don't fucking
Books
know.
of the words of the days, like the of the words part. Couldn't you just say in the books of the days of the kings or?
Amazing.
the book of the
Hold
kings?
on. I need to take a moment to admire what somebody posted in my chat. Just I just I don't have words. There's just. And then Baasha slept with his daddies, and he was buried at Tirzah. And Ella, his son, reigned in his place. And when the word of the Lord had arrived by the hand of the prophet Jehu, the son of Hanani, against Baasha and against his house, and against every evil that he had done before the Lord, so that he provoked him by the works of his hands, and so that he became like the house of Jeroboam, for this reason he killed him. That is the prophet of Jehu, the son of Hanani.
Was it 10 lines? I think it was 10 lines.
What? You mean, wait, Jehu? Well, wait, who got killed? Hold. Wait,
Good question. Does it matter?
I am.
No, it doesn't. Cheers.
You know what? Fair enough. Nah, you drive a hard bargain, but damn, I can't say no to such a deal. In the 26th year of Asa, the king of Judah, Elah, the son of Baasha, reigned over Glasgow at Tirzah for 2 years. and his servant Zimri, the commander of one half part the horse seamen, rebelled against him. That's not even just English, part of the horse seamen. Teras, are you okay?
I'm not.
Should we just keep repeating the sentence until you can contain it?
No, I just skip over it. It'll be faster.
Now Ela was drinking at Tirzah, and he became inebriated in the house of Arza, the prefect of Tirzah. Then Zimri, rushing in, struck him and killed him. In the 27th year of Asa, the king of Judah. Okay, wait. Ela...
Wait, why did he kill him?
Wait. Ela was drinking. When was Ela first mentioned? Ela. I shall verify this because... wait. 2 Kings 15. Wait, where the fuck were we?
Same, honestly.
No, it's not within 10 lines. Mentioned several times before. Okay.
Rip.
By the way, if you're bored, Felix, you can just play the hardcore version of this drinking game.
Drink whenever you're depressed.
No, drink whenever you're not drinking.
That's the same thing.
I mean, fair point. I can't argue with that. And when he had reigned and had sat upon his throne, he struck down the entire house of Baasha, and he did not leave behind of them anything that urinates against the wall, among sus, both close relatives and his friends. And so Zimri destroyed the entire house of Baasha in accord with the word of the Lord, which he had spoken to Baasha by the hand of the prophet Jehu, because of all the sins of Baasha and the sins of Ela, his son, who sinned and caused Glasgow to sin, provoking the Lord, the Skytis of Glasgow, with their vanities.
Same.
But the rest of the words of Ela and all that he did, were these not written in the book of the words of the days of the king of Glasgow? Hey, Teras, I have an idea for a new rule. You know?
Just copy it and then paste in quotations in the drinking rules.
All right. Rules.
Speaking of which,
I still have no idea what they're even trying to say. Like, is it a
Same.
book that exists? What are
Same.
they talking about?
You know what? Why don't you go find out for us right now?
The words of the days of the king. No, the book of.
I'll post it in there. This is. I think this is the exact phrase that is used every time. But yeah, go find out whatever this means.
I mean, I think I have to change the Glasgow, but
no, you don't. I don't know what you're talking about. In the
so
20s,
there is a question on godquestions.org.
In the 27th year of Asa, the king of Judah, Zimri reigned for 7 days in Tirzah. For the army was besieging Gibbethon, a city of the Philistines. And when they had heard that Zimri had rebelled and that he had killed the king, all of Glasgow made Omri as a king for themselves. He was the leader of the military over Glasgow in the encampment in that day. Therefore, Omri ascended and all of Glasgow with him from Gibbethon, and they besieged Tirzah. Then Zimri, seeing that the city was about to be taken, entered the palace, and he set fire to himself along with the royal house, and he died. In his sins, which he had... No, the sentence continues, it's just a new verse, so let me try again. And he died. In his sins, which he had sinned, doing evil before the Lord, and walking in the ways of Jeroboam, and in his sin, by which he caused Glasgow to sin. I just... This Adele reference right there, I'm sure. I set fire to myself. Watch me burn. I don't know, something. Somebody can come up with it. What is this? Isn't this literally the book that I'm reading right now? The Book of Kings 1? Like I'm reading the. I think what I'm reading right now is the first Book of Kings. And then there's also the second Book of Kings. So
they're saying that the Chronicles of the King was removed from the Bible. a number of times in the Hebrew Bible, but was either not included in the corpus of the biblical text or was removed at some times. Not sure
The
if it's
Chronicles of the
exactly this
Kings
one,
of Israel is a book that gives a more detailed account of the reigns of the kings of the ancient kingdom of Israel that presented in the Hebrew Bible and may have been the source from which parts the biblical account were drawn. The book was likely compiled by or derived from the kings of Israel's own scribes and is likely the source for the basic facts presented in the Bible.
So they're just
Wait.
the Bible is
Hold.
just
A complementary book detailing the reigns of the kings of ancient Judah is the Chronicles of the Kings of Judah, a book which has also been lost.
Rip.
So the book that is repeatedly being referenced just doesn't exist anymore? Is that
Seems
why?
like it.
Another lost
They're
book
literally-
dealing with the reigns of the king, blah, 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 is the book of the kings of Judah and Israel. The book is referred to in 2 Chronicles.
Just the two.
Book of Chronicles, yeah. Blah, blah,
there it
blah.
is.
And maybe the same as the other 2 Chronicles. So I
Just the
guess
two.
it's just the lost episode of the Bible.
I think they're literally just trying to sell DLCs. The Bible is just
How about the
base game.
DLCs to exist? Got 'em.
they
Hey, it's in the Bible.
Games. It's in the game. But the rest of the words of Zimri and of his treachery and tyranny, were these not written in the book of the words of the days of the kings of Glasgow? Well, sure they were. Hey, remember the new rule we just made up?
oh
You unalcoholic fuck.
Then the people of Glasgow were divided into 2 parts. One half part of the people followed Tipni, the son of Ginath, having appointed him as a king, and one half part followed Omri. But the people who were with Omri prevailed over the people who were following Tipni, the son of Ginath. And Tipni died, and Omri reigned. Hey, remember when Tipni was introduced less than 10 lines ago?
why does these people just sound like dwarfs from like
Dwarf
Middle
Fortress,
Earth.
anyone?
Tibni, Zimri?
I don't know, Teras would know. Teras is an expert at Dwarven lore.
Yes.
Okay, where the fuck was I?
Yes.
Omri reigned, yeah. In the 31st year of Asa, the king of Judah, Omri reigned over Glasgow for 12 years. He reigned for 6 years at Tirzah, and he brought the mount of Samaria from Shemer for 2 talents of silver. And he built upon it, and he called the name of the city that he had built Samaria, after the name of Shemer, the owner of the mount. But Omri did evil in the sight of the Lord, and he wrought wickedness beyond all who had been before him. And he walked in all the ways of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, and in his sins by which he had caused Glasgow to sin, so that he provoked the Lord, the Skytis of Glasgow, by their vanities. Where have I heard this phrase before? Now, the rest of the words of Omri and his battles that he carried out, were these not written in the book of the words of the days of the kings of Glasgow? What the fuck am I reading?
Actually suck my left testicle.
Oh, I would. I mean, what? And Omri slept with his daddies, and he was buried in Samaria. And Ahab, his son, reigned in his place. Truly, Ahab, the son of Omri, reigned over Glasgow in the 38th year of Asa, the king of Judah. And Ahab, the son of Omri, reigned over Glasgow at Samaria for 22 years. And Ahab, the son of Omri, did evil in the sight of the Lord beyond all who had been before him. And it was not enough for him to walk in the sins of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat. In addition, he took as a wife Jezebel, the daughter of Ethbaal,
Jezebel.
the king of Ethbaal, the king of the Sidonians. And he went astray and he served Baal. And he adored him. He served Baal! Oh my god, Diablo
I
reference.
think that's short for Ethereum Baal.
Or maybe Ethereal. Have you ever played Diablo 2?
He didn't.
Yeah, you suck.
He's just a crypto bro.
And he set up an altar for Baal in the temple of Baal, which he had built at Samaria. And he planted a sacred grove, and Ahab added to his works, provoking the Lord, the Skytis of Glasgow, beyond all the kings of Glasgow who had been before him. In his tale, Heel from Bethel built up Jericho. With Abiram, his first ram, he founded it, and with Sigub, his youngest son, he set up its gates in accord with the word of the Lord, which he had spoken by the hand of Joshua, the son of Nun. So, how are you liking the Bible so far?
If somebody asked me like what happened in Kings 13 to 15, I could only tell them that there's dwarfs and that people die all the time.
Just have them play Dwarf Fortress and find out for yourself.
Like, so far I'm still surprised. It sounds like the one guy ate bread and God immediately killed him and cursed him. And now we're like 2 generations into people just being horribly evil. And that's just how it is.
Eats bread, God. Fuck you in particular.
Eat bread, die young.
There's like robberies and rape and horrible things happening, and there's like, no, the fuck that guy, that specific fucking cunt ate bread.
I guess he ate bread for the first few years of the war.
So it's a safe assumption that you will return for another reading in the future.
Depends. I'm a very busy man. Okay, that's a lie. I'm not busy. I have nothing to do.
And you're also not a man.
We'll see you tomorrow then.
I have to ruin my potential political career somehow, I guess.
Fantastic.
But you didn't even freeze it. It's not a fantastic. What do you mean?
When you drink a lot of alcohol, people call you alcoholic, but then you drink a lot of Fanta, no one calls you fantastic.
And when you drink a lot of Fanta, no one... I mean, what? When you drink a lot of Fanta, people call you fanboy. I mean, what?
Wow. Gay!
Same!
You fucking gay Dorito.
Gatorade. Hold your horses.
Knee slapper.
Leave your knees out of this. 1 Kings 17 and Elijah
I'm just having a quick look back on my entire life, thinking, what the fuck went wrong that I've ended up here?
You want a list?
I would fucking love a list.
Are you willing to pay?
I know the list starts with you.
No, it actually starts with Kim, who's still yet to invade me. I mean, what?
The fuck has he got to do with anything?
You bullied him. He told me the story.
I don't know what you're talking about.
1 Kings 17 is what I'm talking about.
He's a policeman now, by the way.
Hey, Cap.
Which is really funny.
All children are bisexual. I mean, what?
All cops are beautiful.
Your mum's gay.
True, how did you know?
Because I went to her house and she doesn't want me.
Don't
Therefore,
tell
on the assumption that she's gay.
1 Kings 17
Oh,
and
no,
Elijah,
my
the
sat-nav
Tishbite
is
from the
broken.
inhabitants
It
of
keeps
Gilead,
taking me to
said
your
to
mum's
Ahab,
house.
As the Lord lives, the Skytis of Glasgow, in whose sight I stand, there shall not be dew or rain during these years, except by the words of my mouth. And the word of the Lord came to him, saying... Nobody noticed that this is a cue.
I'm just curious, is dew a replacement and it's supposed to be Mountain Dew, or...
Do you know what dew is? You look up the translation and you will understand. No, it's a perfectly normal English word, actually.
Oh, alright.
Fucking idiot.
I'm just gonna consider it Mountain Dew.
I mean, you do that.
You fucking gay papaya.
Saying, withdraw from here and go toward the east, and hide at the torrent Cherith, which is opposite the Jordan, and there you shall drink from the torrent. And I have instructed the ravens to feed you there. Imagine being fed by ravens, what the fuck?
Kinky.
Therefore, he went and acted in accord with the word of the Lord, and going away, he settled by the torrent of Teras, which is opposite the Jordan. And the ravens carried bread and flesh to him in the morning.
Bread.
It's a trap. Don't eat the bread.
And likewise, bread and flesh in the evening. Just flesh. I just want to point out, it's flesh. It's not meat. No, it's flesh. They're just bringing you flesh. It's not
just
meat.
The ravens.
It's flesh.
Translation error. The ravens were just supposed to bring the bread, but they ate the ravens.
Instructions unclear. I ate the messenger.
Instructions unclear. Dick stuck in toaster.
Dick sucking raven.
I wouldn't recommend that. I speak from experience.
And he drank from the torrent. But after some days the torrent dried up, for it had not rained upon the earth. Then the word of the Lord came to him, saying, God damn it. But anyway, the word came to him, saying, boy, today we have a loaded fucking session. Jesus. Repeat that? What were you saying?
Oh, heck.
In German, please?
We both know I can't speak German.
Rise up and go to Zarephath of the Sidonians and dwell there, for I have instructed a widowed woman there to feed you. He rose up and went away to Zarephath. And when he had arrived at the gate of the city, he saw the widowed woman collecting wood, and he called to her. And he said to her, Give me a little water in a vessel, so that I may drink. And as she was going to bring it, he called out after her, saying, Bring me also, I beg you, a morsel of bread in your hand. And she responded, As the Lord your Skytis lives, I have no bread, except a handful of flour in a jar, and a little oil in a bottle. See, I am collecting a couple of sticks, so that I may go in and make it for myself and my son, so that we may eat it and die. Hey, what? No, let me try this again. No, wait, what? And she responded, As the Lord your Skytis lives, I have no bread, except a handful of flour in a jar and a little oil in a bottle. See, I am collecting a couple of sticks, so that I may go in and make it for myself and my son, so that we may eat it and die.
Suicide by bread.
They know the lion loophole. They can't commit suicide, but if they're bread, the lion will eat them.
We don't have any bread. So please, just we're just trying to collect some sticks so we can eat them and die, because crunchy sticks.
I think they want to collect the sticks so they can use them to make bread with the flour. But I have no idea how you would do that.
That'll really stick it to them.
It's fine. I'll bake my own bread. It's quite easy.
I feel like you should probably rather use hands than sticks, but I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure the sticks are for the wood for the fire. But
that's smart.
I mean, isn't Styx like a river?
That's true. Didn't they drown the people there?
Your mum's a river.
I mean, if you visit her, surely.
Owned.
Oh, on my fucking way.
And Elijah.
Give me 2 to 4 business days.
Chinese business days? Like Chinese delivery business days?
Is either of us anywhere near China?
I don't know.
Dumb fuck. You do!
I don't know where you are. You claim, but you could be deceiving me. What's next? You're going to tell me to eat bread?
You understand?
That's my job.
Iron
I'm the bread man.
Next, you just need to dye your head ginger so you can claim to be the gingerbread man.
Wow. It's like when you think it can't get any worse, but then it does. So then you're like, well, surely we're at the bottom now, and then he keeps going deeper. So then 7 layers later, you're like, surely he's at the bottom. No,
I am a professional.
He hasn't started yet.
Then he picks
professional
up the
digger. The ginger beard man. Meh. And Elijah said to her, Do not be afraid, but go and do as you have said. Yet truly, first make for me. Are you okay?
Brand Wazowski.
Oh god.
Yet truly, first make for me, from the same flour, a little bread baked under ashes, and bring it to me. Then afterward, make some for yourself and for your son. For thus says the Lord, the Skytis of Glasgow. The jar of flour will not fail, nor the bottle of oil will be diminished, until the day when the Lord will grant rain upon the face of the earth.
Imagine, like, she makes the bread, feeds it to him, looks back, and the jar is empty, and she sees him running away.
Son of a bitch, I've been tricked.
Got him.
It's like, oh, fuck, not again.
She went and acted in accord with the word of Elijah. And he ate. And she and her household ate. And from that day, the jar of flour did not fail, and the bottle of oil was not diminished, in accord with the word of the Lord, which he had spoken by the hand of Elijah. Now it happened that, after these things, the son of the woman who was the mother of the family became ill. Yeah, the son of the woman who is the mother of the family. That's usually what a son is. That's thanks, Bible.
So the son is the mother of the family, or
No, the son of the woman who is the mother of the family.
Your mum's a woman.
I'm interpreting that as a son being the mother.
You know what? You do you. If you want, go ahead and draw a family tree.
It's a perfect circle.
Hey Teras, you wanna send him the latest version? Do you still have the latest version? We actually had a family tree, but at some point Teras just gave up because it's.
I mean, there's like 25 new characters in the last 5 sentences. So
it's actually.
I mean, we spent we spent hours on this for like the first 2 books, and then it started getting really out of hand, and they started introducing characters that never existed.
Yeah, you think we're joking?
They were just like, oh right, and then this person died. It's like, who was he related? Like, no, they just introduced a character just for him to die.
Basically, every 10 or so chapters, the Bible is like, and then there was this person, and his son was fuck you, and fuck you 2, and fuck you 3, and fuck you 4, and fuck you 5, and fuck you 6. And then it just goes on, never mentions them, and then like 5 chapters later, and then fuck you 6 did this thing, and it's like, who? Huh?
But honestly, imagine you're like on page 150 of writing the Bible, and you just want to write somebody off as dead. You have this feeling in your head like, they're not going to notice, nobody is going to read all of the shit. Just said Timmy died, it's going to be fine.
Just sweep it under the rug. And by it, I mean the ashes of that person. Therefore, she said to Elijah, what is there between you and me, O man of Skytis? Have you entered to me so that my iniquities would be remembered, and so that you would put to death, with one F, my son? And Elijah said to her, give your son to me. And he took him from her bosom, and he carried him to an upper room where he himself was staying. And he placed him on his own bed. Just, give me your child. Yoink! And he cried out to the Lord, and he said, O Lord, my Skytis, have you even afflicted the widow by who I am, in a sense, sustained, so that you would put to death, with one F, her son? And he stretched himself out beside the boy 3 times. What? He stretched himself out beside the boy 3 times. What does that mean?
I do like how I thought these were lost forever, but no, these are actually this is so some of these are fucking kept.
I'll get to that after the chapter. And he cried out to the Lord and said, O Lord, my Skytis, let the soul of this boy, I beg you, return to his body. And the Lord heeded the voice of Elijah. And the soul of the body returned to him, and he revived. Holy shit, the second revival! By the way, in case you didn't know, reviving is a thing. Like, there was one guy was revived
before. Who was
before.
the first one?
Samuel. Samuel was revived only to tell the... Like, one dude was like, went to a divining woman and just said, I need to talk to Samuel. And then she revived Samuel, and then Samuel was like, yeah, you're gonna die. Peace. And then he died.
I think that's like 300 gold pieces and diamonds and a wizard level 5, but seems legit.
Yeah. Well, reviving is a thing, just so you know. And Elijah took the boy, and he brought him down from the upper room to the lower part of the house, and he gave him to his mother. And he said to her, see, your son lives. And the woman said to Elijah, by this I now realize that you are a man of Skytis, and that the word of the Lord in your mouth is true.
The Lord is in his mouth?
Yes.
That's stinky.
Oh, yeah, the Lord. a lot. Yeah.
Okay, Skytis, here you go. You can open this on stream and just share it with the class.
Sure.
Hold on. Let me trying to.
Felix, have you appreciated what Teras posted?
I haven't. I mean,
No, the thing before, because it is literally accurate. Obviously, it's
I don't
paraphrasing, but
remember.
that's basically what he's saying.
I give you my 2 virgin daughters to fuck off.
That is basically what happened. If you don't believe us, look up Bible Lord Daughters, and I'm sure you'll find it.
It literally says 1908. Like the thing is right there.
Yeah, true.
It's a long family tree, holy shit.
Yep, Teras and I did some work.
We spent a while there.
Like, we even have the age, and on the top right, if you see like a number, like 980 at Adam, you see that? Like, Skytis and then Evil Clay Adam, and then 930. He was 930 years old. So just
When he died, right? Okay.
yeah, just look at the age. Actually, like back then, almost 1,000 years, like 900, 800, 700. And these days, like last session, we had somebody who was like 80 years old, and he was old. So apparently now, like being 100 years would be kind of special.
There's a lot of comedy in this as well.
So basically, over the years, over the millennia, I guess, age expectancy went down by a lot, down to like I don't know what, 50 or so.
Honestly,
now it's slowly going up because of medicine and all that. But yeah, back then, like,
you mean because we came back to God, of course.
I mean, I certainly didn't come.
So honestly, I think probably they're just like, it's dark again. Let's just say another year has passed. They have no idea what 900 years is. You're probably like 50.
Well, they know because they just asked Skytis.
It's true.
But yeah,
honestly,
I hope you enjoyed this.
More to the right.
Yeah, I know.
Sarah,
I just like, what do you want me to do? There's so much to take in.
There's so much. There's more memes though.
Oh yeah,
there has to be like a complete.
Please say
somebody has to have made a doctor's.
Do you have
a diploma for every single person in the Bible, right?
By the way, would you? Do we? Is this the?
Exodus. Go down. Get to the right.
Yeah, I know. Teras is not okay.
I forgot about that. Exodus be like.
Exodus writing really dropped off toward the end.
I'm so proud of myself.
Oh, by the way, we have this is the diet, right? 1 to 7.
Yeah. This is
the diet you have to follow if you wanna. What do you get for following the diet?
I don't know. It was for a specific time period.
Isn't that like every the jubilee of the go fuck yourself something?
Yeah, something along those lines. Yeah.
Vertical container. Thanks. Oh yeah, and then we also had a census where they just counted, and then we made a pie chart.
Ironically enough.
You're so welcome for this, by the way.
Is that the number of times the names?
No, that's the number of people in those
this
tribes.
Is the army they used to get the promised land, essentially.
Yeah. Basically, the size of the army.
This is war numbers.
Dan just has 60,000 people in his control based.
So yeah, you're welcome. We put some work into this, into making sure that you understand the Bible. You're unbelievably welcome.
Well, I mean, I would say you failed, but I didn't think you had a fair chance to begin with, so...
Fair.
Oh.
I'm just gonna keep...
Let the record show there was an attempt.
Points for effort. 1 Kings 80. After many days, the word of the Lord came to Elijah in the 3rd year, saying...
Oh yeah, same, honestly.
Go, and show yourself to Ahab, so that I may grant rain upon the face of the earth. Therefore, Elijah went to show himself to Ahab. For there was a severe famine in Samaria, and Ahab called Obadiah, the manager of his household. Now Obadiah feared the Lord greatly. For when Jezebel was killing the prophets of the Lord, he took 100 prophets and concealed them, 50 and 50, in caves. And he fed them with bread and water. Oh, no, not bread.
Not bread.
Then Ahab said to Obadiah, "Go into the land, to all fountains of water and to all the valleys, for perhaps we will be able to find plants and save the horses and mules so that the beasts of burden may not perish entirely. And they divided the regions among themselves, so that they might travel through them. Ahab went one way alone, and Obadiah went another way by himself. And while Obadiah was on the way, Elijah met him. And when he had recognized him, he fell on his face. And he said, "Are you not my lord Elijah?" And he responded to him, "I am. Go and tell your lord that Elijah is here." And he said, How have I sinned that you would deliver me, your servant, into the hand of Ahab, so that he would put me to death with one F? As the Lord your Skytis lives, there is no nation or kingdom to which my Lord has not sent, seeking you. And when all responded, "He is not here," he swore to each kingdom and nation to an oath, because you were not found at all. And now you say to me, "Go and tell your Lord that Elijah is here." And when I will have departed from you, the Spirit of the Lord will transport you to a place that I do not know. And entering, I will report to Ahab. And he, not finding you, will put me to death with one F. Yet your servant has feared the Lord from his infancy. Has it not been revealed to you, my Lord, what I did when Jezebel was killing the prophets of the Lord? How I hid 100 men from the prophets of the Lord, 50 and 50 in caves, and how I fed them with bread and water. Same. And now you say, "Go and tell your Lord that Elijah is here, so that he may kill me." And Elijah said, "As the Lord of hosts lives, before whose face I stand, this day I will appear to him." Therefore Obadiah went away to meet Ahab, and he reported to him. And Ahab went to meet Elijah, and when he had seen him, he said, "Are you the one who is disturbing Glasgow?" And he said, "I have not troubled Glasgow, but it is you and the house of your daddy who have abandoned the commandments of the Lord and have followed the Baals. Yet truly send and gather to me all of Glasgow on Mount Carmel, with the 450 prophets of Baal and the 400 prophets of the sacred groves who eat from the table of Jezebel." Ahab sent to all the sons of Glasgow, and he gathered together the prophets on Mount Carmel. And then Elijah, drawing near to all the people, said, "How long will you waver between two sides? If the Lord is Skytis, follow him. But if Baal is, then follow him." And the people did not respond a word to him. And Elijah said again to the people, "I alone remain as a prophet of the Lord. But the prophets of Baal are 450 men. Let 2 coxen be given to us, and let them choose 1 cox for themselves, and cutting it into pieces, let them set it on the wood. But they may not place fire under it, and I will prepare the other cox, and set it on the wood, but I will not place fire under it. Call upon the names of your Skytises. I will call on the name of my Lord. And the Skytis who will have heated with fire, let him be Skytis." And in response, all the people said, "Excellent proposition." Then Elijah said to the prophets of Baal, "Choose for yourselves 1 cox, and prepare it first, for you are many, and call on the names of your Skytises, but do not place fire under it." And when they had taken a cox which he had given to them, they prepared it, and they called on the name of Baal from morning until midday, saying, "O Baal, heed us." And there was no voice, nor did anyone respond. And so they leaped upon the altar that they had made. Same. And when it was now midday, Elijah ridiculed them, saying, "Cry out with a louder voice, for he is a Skytis, and perhaps he is talking, or in an inn, or on a journey, or certainly he may be asleep and must be awakened." Then they cried out with a loud voice, and they cut themselves, in accord with their ritual, with knives and lancets, until they were entirely covered in blood.
Damn.
I didn't know being emo was a thing back then. Just...
Didn't even have anything to do with the ritual. They were just sad, so they started cutting.
Thanks, Bible. I mean, there were several cuttings before. Like there was that one time where somebody cut his wife into pieces and then sent all the pieces throughout the entire land, and then everybody who received a piece of the wife immediately knew that this meant that his wife has been slaughtered and that there must be revenge on this one specific tribe. And then they were all just up to go to war.
This is my last resort. Sorry.
Exactly. I mean, that's why one of the Bible readings on YouTube is titled "Cut My Wife into Pieces." This is something.
Yeah, I found this one.
You're welcome. Then, after midday had passed and they were prophesying, the time had arrived when the sacrifice is usually offered, and there was no voice heard. Neither did anyone heed or respond to the praying. Elijah said to all the people, "Draw near to me." And as the people were drawing near to him, he repaired the altar of the Lord which had been torn down. He took 12 stones in accord with the number of the tribes of the sons of Jacob, to whom the word of the Lord came, saying, "Glasgow shall be your name." That is a very subtle one, but you have to drink.
No. Wait.
Hmm.
Wait.
Huh.
Guilty. I'll fucking do it again.
And he built from stones an altar to the name of the Lord. And he made a trench for water, like 2 furrows of plowed land all around the altar. And he arranged the wood, and he cut the cocks into pieces, and he placed it on the wood. Suffocation? No breathing. And he said, "Fill 4
Shut the fuck up. I hope you fucking stop your toes.
And he said, "Fill 4 containers with water and pour it over the hollow coals and over the wood."
What
And
the
again-
fuck is... Why is the hollow? Okay, I'm gonna
Just
check.
look it up. It's just a thing. It's basically just a sacrifice to God back then, sort of.
There's... Oh, so it's actually not changed. Wait, really?
Like Holocaust meant a very different thing back then compared to what it does now with the.
I kind of just assumed you changed some word to Holocaust.
No,
but,
no, we did not.
That's a Bible classic.
That's
see,
that's the beauty. You don't even know if we replaced the thing or not because the Bible is just the Bible, TM.
It's so fucking cursed.
Maybe that was the problem. That's why I didn't stop it. You just tried to pour some water over it and it didn't stop it.
And again, he said,
Oh,
"Do this a
Jesus.
second time." And when they had done it a second time, he said, "Do it also a third time." And they did so a third time. And the water was running down around the altar, and the pit of the trench was filled with water. And when it was now time for the Holocaust to be offered, the prophet Elijah, drawing near, said, "O Lord, Skytis of Abraham and Isaac and Glasgow, reveal this day that you are the Skytis of Glasgow, and that I am your servant, and that I have acted in all these things in accord with your precept. Heed me, O Lord, heed me, so that this people may learn that you are the Lord Skytis, and that you have converted their heart again." Then the fire of the Lord fell down and devoured the Holocaust, and the wood, and the stones, and even the dust, and it absorbed the water that was in the trench. And when all the people had seen it, they fell upon their face, and they said, "The Lord himself is Skytis. The Lord himself is Skytis." And Elijah said to them, "Apprehend the prophets of Baal, and do not let even one of them escape." And when they had apprehended them, Elijah led them down to the torrent Kishon, and he put them to death, with one F, there. And Elijah said to Ahab, "Ascend, eat and drink, for there is sound of an abundance of rain." Ahab ascended, so that he might eat and drink. But Elijah ascended to the top of Carmel, and bending down to the ground, he placed his face between his knees. And he said to his servant, "Ascend, and gaze out toward the sea." And when he had ascended and had contemplated, he said, "There is nothing." And again he said to him, "Return 7 times." And at the 7th time, behold, a little cloud ascended from the sea, like the footstep of a man. And he said, "Ascend, and say to Ahab, yoke your chariot and descend, otherwise the rain may prevent you." And as he was turning himself this way and that, Behold. The heavens were darkened, and there were clouds and wind, and a great rainstorm occurred. And so Ahab, going up, went away to Jezreel. And the hand of the Lord was upon Elijah. And cinching his waist, he ran before Ahab until he arrived at Jezreel.
Couldn't they have just converted the prophets of Baal instead of proving that God is real and then just killing them all for no reason?
I have a brilliant idea. How about you explain your theory in detail right now? How would that have worked? Go on.
Just do exactly what you do and then just leave out the part where you kill the prophets. I feel like that's a great plan. So, nice weather, isn't it?
Yes, same, honestly.
Fuck winter. Winter sucks. They should just stop it.
Yeah, penis.
True.
Chicken wing. Ain't no thing like a chicken wing!
What's up?
Alright, did you
My dick.
manage to convert everyone to your side?
So, I mean, it's literally just use exactly the same text and then just remove the part where you kill the prophets for no reason. And I think you
There
could
is
just
a
leave
reason,
it there
though.
and
They're evil.
true. They didn't believe in God before God gave them no reason to believe in them. Also, wasn't there this one piece where Jesus was trying to...
I don't think One Piece was a thing back then.
I mean, it's 1,000 episodes and it could have been around then, who knows? But wasn't there specifically a part in the New Testament where they were like, don't test God?
How
God
would I
doesn't
know
want to be
about the New
tested."
Testament? Do I look like I read the New Testament? Excuse me?
Yes.
Fuck you.
I will
I
get
haven't
there
even
eventually.
read the Old Testament.
I mean, you're 200 pages in, which is probably more than 95% of all.
More than, I would
General.
say more than 99.9% of the population, but you know what? Sure, let's make a low estimate of
true.
95. Yes, but that's still, I still haven't read the Old Testament. I've read parts of it. Shall we continue?
Yeah.
Would you like to read another chapter?
How long is it? Oh, that's fine. That's only
It's short,
page.
that's why I'm asking you if you would like.
Sure. Then Ahab reported to
How
to
dare
Jezebel,
you not even read the chapter number? I am so
1 Kings 19. 19 semic. That's a double punct 1.
It's a fucking colon.
Column. Thank you.
You absolute fucking reprobate.
Then Ahab reported to Jezebel all that Elijah had done, and how he had killed all the prophets with a sword. So the sword is mightier than the pen. Ah, nice.
No, the
And so
pen is.
True. That's funny because pen is
Oh,
almost
hold
sounds like the male genital.
Hold on, I need to send you something amazing.
Is it your penis?
No, but it's pretty close actually. Do you know about this?
Actually not.
Oh, no,
Look it up.
I think it's not. I don't think it's .com.
Oh, I should have done
Oh,
without the
it's .net. Oh, it's
Oh, Jesus
.net.
Christ.
Son of a bitch, it's .net. I thought.
This actually, I can't tell if this is like a really nice students project where they're trying to make fun of it, or if it's actually.
Honestly, it's probably a
if you
meme,
read,
but
if you read
people
into,
will
if
buy
you read
it.
into it, it gets funnier the more you read into it.
But he's supposed to read the Bible.
It's fun.
Okay,
It's fun. I got funeral websites like that.
So where was it?
This one's pretty good.
And so Jezebel sent a messenger to Elijah. Crouton.net, nice. May the Skytis to these things.
Skytis, it's plural. God damn it.
Skytis to these
Skytis,
things, and may they add these other things.
I think this is supposed to be do, but I don't know. It's the Bible.
May they add these other things.
Yeah, it's
By
just
this hour tomorrow, I will just any things. Doesn't matter what it is.
it's just a Bible thing. It's just may I do these things and add these other things. It's just like a generic thread. It's like I will do these things and these other things I will also add, but you never specify. It's just a thread basically.
I feel like this kind of explains where all this, like, you have to interpret the Bible differently comes from. If you just literally write, just do these things, like, it can only be interpreted, right?
It's a Bible TM.
I would not have made your life like the life of one of them. Therefore Elijah was afraid, and rising up he went away to wherever his will would carry him. And he arrived in Beersheba of Judah, and he dismissed his servants there. And he continued on into the desert for 1 day journey. And when he had arrived and was sitting on a juniper tree, he requested for his soul that he might die, and he said, "It is enough for me, O Lord, take my soul." Has to walk for 1 day, immediately just wants to die. For I'm no better than my daddies. And he stretched himself out, and he slept deeply in the shadow of the juniper tree. And behold, an angel of the Lord touched him and said to him, "Rise up and eat."
Hold.
He looked and behold.
What did he? What happened?
And behold, an angel of the Lord touched him.
Yeah, that one.
I've never heard that word before. Yep.
He looked and behold, at his head was bread.
That's literally again Teras. That's the second behold.
And a container of water. Then he ate and drank, and again he slept deeply. And the angel of the Lord returned a second time and touched him and said to him, "You're going to die now. Get here, lion."
Teras, hey, I found a new phrase for the new sentence for the best of. And the angel of the Lord returned a second time and touched him.
He touched him, and he waddled.
Sorry, go on.
And said to him, "Rise up, eat, for a great journey again stands before you." And he, when he had risen up, he ate when he had risen up, he ate and drank.
Yeah, that
He ate and drank and rose up.
Seems legit.
Just Bible things, honestly. Just Bible
When
things.
he had risen up, he ate and drank. And he walked by the strength of that food for 40 days and 40 nights, as far as the mountains of Skytis, Horeb. And when he had arrived there, he stayed.
Hold. Are you laughing about the Holy Book? Teras, are you laughing about the Holy Book?
I'm yawning.
Okay, Felix, are you laughing about the Holy Book?
I would never.
But I am.
You can't do that. People might burn the Swiss flag if you laugh about the Holy Book. Did you hear about that?
We're not laughing about it, we're laughing because of it.
That's
very
true.
Different.
Did you hear the story about, like, in Sweden somebody burns the Quran, and in retaliation they burned a Switzerland flag? I think that was the funniest thing I've ever heard. Like, there's a cross on it that must be like the Christian flag, right? Let's just burn it.
You'll fall to hell then, like your hairline. Ugly. Okay. I mean, I played Doom, I know how to handle hell.
This is one hell of a book.
And when he had arrived there, he stayed in a cave. And behold, the word of the Lord came to him and said to him,
"Hold!
What are you doing here?"
Behold, and also the word came to him and said to him. That's
behold,
two.
Came to him and said, okay. And he responded, "I have been very zealous on behalf of the Lord, the Skytis of hosts. For the sons of Glasgow have forsaken your covenant.
Skytis. Do you remember early on in our Bible reading adventures how we had that one guy who kept telling us we were just misunderstanding the Bible?
No,
Did you?
I don't
mean,
remember.
The very religious individual.
I genuinely don't remember. No.
No? I've just been reminded of it. I wonder why we don't get those anymore.
I actually kind of wonder if this is just like in Abrahamic, it kind of sounds okay, and they just had really shitty translators when they translated it to English, or if they actually just wrote the end sentences like 20 times in a row.
It's part of translation, but honestly, it's mostly just poor writing back then. Also, for anyone watching, feel free to try to convert us. We're actually, believe it or not, there's video evidence. We've read the Bible up to this point. And we feel very strongly about it, but we won't tell you how we feel.
Damn.
But if you want to change our mind, feel free. We're here. We'll read your message. We'll probably make fun of you, but hey, you can try. It'll probably be funny for both of us.
Well, both of you two, right? Not the guest.
You're just a victim. You're not a guest. You're a victim.
A victim? But I hardly know her.
Shut your fuck.
They have torn down your altars. They have killed your prophets with a sword. I alone remain. And they are seeking my life so that they may take it away. And he said to them, go out and stand on the mount before the Lord. And behold, the Lord passed by. And there was a great and strong wind tearing about the mountains.
The Lord went to Best Buy, what?
Behold! For fuck's sake. Teras.
And crushing the rocks before the Lord. But the Lord was not in the wind. And after the wind there was an earthquake. But the Lord was not in the earthquake. And after the earthquake there was a fire. But the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire there was a whisper of a gentle breeze. And when Elijah had heard it, he covered his face with his cloak, and going out, he stood at the entrance of the cave. And behold, there was a voice to him, saying,
behold,
what are you doing here, stepbro, Elijah?
I like this one. Can we keep it?
You have no idea how proud I am of you right now. Because this is quite literally what I do. Just occasionally, just take one or two words to make it way more funny. And then when Teras realizes what I said, he's just like, wait a minute. And then realizes that I did that. And you just did that without even being told. So I'm incredibly proud of you. Also, behold.
Thank you. Behold.
Oh, I like this one.
And he responded, I have been very zealous on behalf of the Lord, the Skytis of hosts. For the sons of Glasgow have forsaken your covenant. They have torn down your altars. They have killed your prophets with a sword. I alone remain. And they are seeking my life so that they may take it away. And the Lord said to him, go and return on your way.
To him?
Oh, true.
I just want to point out the person that tried to demonize us in chat has apparently disappeared. Are you that weak? Do you not have any arguments? Like all you have to say is, haha, you're going to hell and you're ugly?
Oh, I was wondering where that came from.
I'm reading my chat occasionally. So I'm just saying, like, shouldn't you try to get us on the good side so, we can all go to heaven and be free of femboys?
Oh, that's not very Christian of you.
Yeah, the Lord said to him, sorry?
It was just like two little arrows read. So basically all the prophets of the Lord just died and he's the last one, right? That's the story right now. Okay, go and return on your way through the desert to Damascus. And when you have arrived there, you shall anoint Hazael as king over Syria. And you shall anoint Jehu, the son of Nimshi, as king over Glasgow. But Elisha, the son of Shaphat, who is from Abel Meholah, you shall anoint to be a prophet.
Try again, from what?
Abel Meholah.
What?
Abel Meholah?
Maybe Abel Mehol?
His whole is not able.
I'm not sure if he's able to do that. And this shall be, whoever will have escaped from the sword of Hazael will be slain by Jehu, and whoever will have escaped from the sword of Jehu will be put to death with one F by Elisha. And I will leave for myself 7,000 men in Glasgow, whose knees have not been bent before Baal, and every mouth that has not adored him, kissing hands. Therefore Elijah, setting out from there, found Elisha, oh, that's 2 people, the son of Shaphat, plowing with 12 yoke of oxen. And he himself was one of those who were plowing with the 12 yoke of oxen. And when Elijah had gone to him, he cast his mantle over him. And immediately, leaving behind his oxen, he ran after Elijah. And he said, I beg you to let me kiss my daddy and my mother, and then I will follow you. And he said to him, Go and turn back, for what was mine to do I have done concerning you. Then, turning back from him, he took a pair of oxen and he slew them. And he cooked the flesh with the plow of the oxen, and he gave it to people, and they ate. And rising up, he went and followed Elijah, and he ministered to him.
There's one minor mistake. It's actually not pronounced I beg you, it's actually pronounced I beg you!
I beg you.
We need to put some emotions into it. Put your back into it.
He'll learn. Next time he's back, he'll do a better job, I'm sure.
I don't approve ever in anything. I'm sorry.
1 Kings 20. Then Ben-Hadad, the king of Syria, gathered together his entire army, and there were 32 kings with him, with horses and chariots. And ascending, he fought against Samaria, and he besieged it. And sending messengers into the city to Ahab, the king of Glasgow, he said, Thus says Ben-Hadad, your silver and your gold is mine, and your wives and your best sons are mine. And the king of Glasgow responded, In agreement with your word, my lord the king, I am yours, with all that is mine. And he sent... and the messengers returning said, Thus says Ben-Hadad, who sent us to you, Your silver and your gold and your wives and your sons you shall give to me. Therefore, tomorrow, at this same hour, I will send my servants to you, and they will search your house and the houses of your servants, and all that pleases them they will put in their hands and take away. Then the king of Glasgow called the elders of the land, and he said, Let your souls take heed, and see that he commits treachery against us, for he sent to me for my wives and sons, and for silver and gold, and I did not refuse. And all those greater by birth, with all the people, said to him, You should neither listen nor acquiesce to him. And so he responded to the messengers of Ben-Hadad, Tell my lord the king everything about which you sent to me in the beginning. I, your servant, will do. Anyway, but this thing I am not able to do. Go on.
No. Yeah.
I got time.
Okay, I'm bored now.
I born on Skytis. And returning, the messengers took this to him, and he sent again and said, May the Skytises do these things to me, and may they add these other things, if the dust of this of Samaria is enough to fill the hands of all the people who follow me. And responding, the king of Glasgow said, Tell him that one who is girded should not boast the same as one who is ungirded. Then it happened that when Ben-Hadad had heard this word, he and the kings were drinking in a pavilion. And he said to his servants, Encircle the city. And they encircled it. And behold... God damn it, where the fuck was I? One prophet drawing near to Ahab, the king of Glasgow, said to him, Thus says the Lord, Certainly you have seen this entire exceedingly great multitude. Behold, I will deliver them into your hand today, so that you may know that I am the Lord.
Just the one word.
Ahab is literally like, who asked?
And Ahab said, By whom? And he said to him, Thus says the Lord, by the footmen of the leaders of the provinces. And he said, who should begin to do battle? And he said, you should. Therefore, he took account of the servants of the leaders of the provinces, and he found the number to be 2,032. And he set them in order after the people, all the sons of Glasgow, who were 7,000. And they went out at midday, but Ben-Hadad was drinking. He was inebriated in his pavilion. And the 32 kings with him, who had arrived in order to assist him. Then the servants of the leaders of the provinces went out to the first place at the front. And so Ben-Hadad sent, and they reported to him, saying, men have gone out from Samaria. And he said, if they have arrived for peace, apprehend them alive. If to do battle, capture them alive. Therefore, the servants of the leaders of the provinces went out, and the remainder of the army was following, and each one struck down the men who came against him. And the Syrians fled, and Glasgow pursued them. Also, Ben-Hadad, the king of Syria, fled on a horse with his horsemen. But the king of Glasgow, going out, struck the horses and the chariots, and he struck the Syrians with a great slaughter. Then a prophet, drawing near to the king of Glasgow, said to him, go and be strengthened, and know and see what you are doing. For in the following year the king of Syria will rise up against you. And truly, the servants of the king of Syria said to him, their Skytises are the Skytises of the mountains. Because of this, they have overwhelmed us. But it is better that we fight against them in the plains, and then we will prevail over them. Therefore you should do this word. Remove each of the kings from your army, and set commanders in their place, and replace the numbers of soldiers who have been cut down of yours, and the horses, in accord with the earlier numbers of the horses, and the chariots, in accord with the number of the chariots that you had before. And we will fight against them in the plains, and you will see that we will prevail over them. And he trusted in their counsel, and he did so. Therefore, after the passing of the year, Ben-Hadad took account of the Syrians, and he ascended to Aphek, so that he might fight against Glasgow. Then the sons of Glasgow were numbered, and taking provisions, they set out to the opposite side, and they stretched out to the camp, facing them like two little flocks of goats. But the Syrians filled the land. And one man of Skytis, drawing near, said to the king of Glasgow, thus says the Lord, because the Syrians have said, the Lord is the Skytis of the mountains, but he is not the Skytis of the valleys. I will deliver this entire great multitude into your hands, and you shall know that I am the Lord. And for 7 days, both sides arranged each of their battle lines. Then, on the 7th day, the war was undertaken. And the sons of Glasgow struck down from the Syrians 100,000 foot soldiers in one day. Then those who had remained fled to Aphek into the city, and the wall fell upon 27,000 men of those who had remained. Then Ben-Hadad, fleeing, entered the city, into a room that was inside another room. And his servants said to him, behold,
Same.
we have heard that the kings of the house of Glasgow show clemency, and so let us put sackcloth around our waists and robes on our heads, and let us go out to the king of Glasgow. Perhaps he will save our lives. God damn it.
So they're cosplaying this woman, or what's the story?
They're putting on ropes, so they're probably ready to suicide.
Oh, possible.
Okay. But hey, I don't know. I'm just trying to read the Bible. I'm not trying to understand it.
I'm still wondering where the 100,000 men came from. I think it was like 2k against 7k.
I mean, doesn't matter where they came from. It just matters where they come. I mean, what?
Maybe it's like the fish that multiplies a lot, so there were 7,000 men, but every time they killed like 100,
Multiplied a lot.
200 more were there. Lol.
Where?
Where the fuck was I? Yeah. So they wrapped sackcloth around their waists, and they placed ropes on their heads, and they went to the king of Glasgow, and they said to him, your servant Ben-Hadad says, I beg you to let my soul live. And he replied, if he is still alive, he is my brother. The men accepted this as a good sign. And hastily, they took up the word from his mouth, and they said, Ben-Hadad is your brother. And he said to them, go and bring him to me. Therefore, Ben-Hadad went out to him, and he lifted him onto his chariot, and he said to him, "The cities that my daddy took from your daddy will return. And you may make streets for yourself in Damascus, just as my daddy made in Samaria. And after we have made a pact, I will withdraw from you." Therefore, he formed a pact with him, and he released him. Then a certain man from the sons of the prophets said to his associate by the word of the Lord, "Strike me." But he was not willing to strike. And he said to him,
Wow.
"Because you were not willing to heed the voice of the Lord. Behold,
Wow.
you will depart from me, and a lion will slay you. And when he had departed a short distance from him, a lion slew him." There's just missing quotation marks. Huh? What the fuck? That's just fuck you, Bible.
Classic. Oh.
And when he had departed a short distance from him, a lion found him and slew him. But upon finding another man, he said to him, "Strike me." And he struck him and wounded him. Then the prophet departed. And he met the king along the way, and he changed his appearance by sprinkling dust around his mouth and eyes. And when the king had passed by, he cried out to the king, and he said, "Your servant went out to do battle in close quarters. And when one man had fled, a certain person brought him to me, and he said, 'Guard this man, for if he slips away, your life will take the place of his life, or you will weigh out 1 talent of silver.' And while I was distracted, turning one way and another, suddenly he was not to be seen. And the king of Glasgow said to him, 'This is your judgment, that which you yourself have decreed.' Then immediately he wiped away the dust from his face, and the king of Glasgow recognized him, that he was one of the prophets. And he said to him, 'Thus says the Lord, because you have released from your hand a man worthy of death with 1 F, your life will take place of his life, and your people will take the place of his people.' And so the king of Glasgow returned to his house, unwilling to listen, and a fury entered into Samaria.
I'm back. Did I miss something?
You are. Hi back. I'm Skytis.
That's a very attractive name.
Anything you would like to add?
That's a nice meme.
You're welcome. I made it.
Is that your, what's Lesezeichen in English?
Bookmark. Holy
Bookmark?
How do you not know the word for a bookmark?
Not that one specifically. He just puts a new meme every single time when he wants to stop.
Nice.
Basically, this means we're done for today. Unless you want to keep...
No, you don't. No,
shut the fuck up. We're gonna have to...
You shut.
Unless you want to keep going, in which case we can keep going.
No, I'm leaving anyway. You're not having me.
I have extra hours to redeem Teras.
They're non-refundable during the fucking Bible week.
You never...
At least not during the 5-day period.
You never specified that. Fuck you.
Well, I'm specifying it now. Shut the fuck up.
So, are we done?
There was like 5 or 6 pages. I think that's fine. The green marked things are the nice phrases, or...
Marked in green just is noted for our best of Bible, which we will at some point do.
Yeah.
I think we start at 12. 1 Kings 12. Or 13. Are you having fun, Teras?
What's that trophy you're having in your hand? Is
What?
it a trophy? It kind of looked like a trophy.
That's a goblet.
Oh.
A very small one.
Did you put your name in the goblet of fire?
Put it on your...
What do you mean small? That's gigantic. honestly way above average, I'd say.
Same, honestly.
Anything intelligent you want to add? Teras is not going to say anything intelligent, so I'm talking to you, Mr. Guest.
Sorry, no. I'm out of ideas.
Well then. Fuck.
I shall find somebody to raid. Hey, Mr. Guest, are you gonna stream now? I'm just being ignored. Help. Are you gonna stream now? Hello?
He's just staring at a screen silently.
Well, I guess I'm not raiding you. Fuck you then. He just does not care about me. How fucking rude.
You fucking cockblock.
Wow. I think somebody has had a few too many drinks.
Huh?
Yeah, well, screw you.
I didn't feel like you were talking to me, right?
Sure. Yeah, let's go with that. Yeah, screw you. Apparently, we're just gonna raid Heathen. I shall be back tomorrow with Teras and hopefully another guest, unless they spontaneously cancel, and more Bible. And hopefully at some point in the future,
we can maybe even stream longer tomorrow.
Who knows? And hopefully at some point, our beloved guest here shall return for another reading.
Woo! Gladly.
Yeah, we like this one. This one's crunchy.
You gonna come back at some point?
Sure, depends. I sometimes.
No, too late. No backseas. I can pencil you in.
Yep, you are now committed. You're now a permanent member of the Bible reading. You have to be here every second.
Bible reading, you mean?
He's a feminine member.
Yeah, you have to. You have to be here every other Saturday. There's no two ways about it. Yeah, we're raiding Heathen. He's playing Elden Ring, so I'm probably not gonna watch his gameplay because I don't want to get spoiled. He's a nice guy. I don't know. If you speak in English, I'm sure he'll respond. Usually he streams in Swedish, but I don't know any Swedish, so what could possibly go wrong?
I'm leaving.
I'm Skytis.
He left. That was unexpected.